outside my house as part of Jupham High Street's redevelopment, so it's a bit noisy.
We're live on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. And then, Joe, did you want to go back to the start? Thanks.
Right, thank you. Thank you. This application relates to a previously developed site within the Greenbelt beyond the edge of the settlement of West End. This retrospective proposal is to provide 2 gypsy pitches, including a mobile home and tourer caravan for pitch on the site to the rear of the existing house, with shared access onto Guildford Road. Information has been previously provided in relation to the personal circumstances of the occupants of the mobile homes. This provides medical information which has been treated as confidential and provides a confidential report which summarises this information. As you are aware, the application for the retention of the mobile homes was previously reported in June, but was deferred at the request of members to allow the receipt of further information. Members felt that they needed more specific medical evidence in respect of the potential impacts of the application on the applicant's grandson's needs. The agent has confirmed that they do not intend to provide further information indicating that the child's condition has been clearly documented in previously received documentation. You'll note that on the update, confirmation that the child is within the local special needs school and would be expected to stay there for the next 12 years. In addition, an amendment to the time period to complete the undertaking or make the payment for SAM, as set out on page 79 of the agenda report, is extended to 16th of October 2020. The officer recommendation is to approve this application subject to conditions, including a 5-year limit, period permission, and this verbal update. I will lead you through the photos and plans. The application site lies on the west side of Guildford Road, falling within the Greenbelt, located just outside the settlement of West End. The application site includes the area for the mobile homes and access outlined in red, but does not include the host dwelling and yard at the rear, which are outlined in blue. The application site was previously part of the garden of the host dwelling. The wider site fronts onto Guildford Road, close to the road junction with Kings Road to the north. Residential properties lie to both flanks, with more open land at the rear. The land opposite falls within the settlement of West End. The wider site is wedge-shaped, reducing the width towards the rear. The plan to the right provides a more wider plan which shows the west side of Guildford Road being more open, with the east side being more built up, reflecting the contrast between the settlement and Greenbelt designations. The key constraint is the Greenbelt. No other key statutory constraints, such as proximity to listed buildings, would apply. The site location plan also includes the existing outbuilding and commercial uses to the rear, and existing mobile homes. An existing garage is shown to the front of the existing dwelling. Next slide, please. This is the main house on the site, which is to be retained. Next slide, please. These are the mobile homes on the site. Next slide. This is the outbuilding to the rear of the site. And the final slide, please. This is the site layout for the proposal, which shows the access road to the north flank, to the top of the block plan, with the ends of the mobile homes facing this access road. Parking is provided on a drive to the front of each mobile home. The proposal is considered to be inappropriate development, which would also have an adverse impact on the owners of this part of Greenbelt and rural character. As set out in paragraph 7.4.2 of the original officer report, paragraph 24 of the National Planning Policy for Traveller Sites indicates the consideration of the following issues specific to this case should be made. The first one is the existing level of provision and need for sites. The second is the availability or lack of alternative accommodation for the applicants. And thirdly, other personal circumstances of the applicant. The National Policy for Traveller Sites also indicates that the best interests of the child have to be taken into consideration. As indicated in paragraph 7.4.5 to 7.4.7 of the officer report, there remains a demonstrated need for traveller pitches within this borough, which this proposal would weigh, for which this proposal weighs in support. It's concluded that there are no other options for the occupiers of the mobile homes, as indicated in paragraph 7.4.10 of the officer report. It is clear from the received medical information that there is a need for these occupants to remain within this accommodation for personal and health reasons. This weighs heavily in support of this proposal. It is appreciated that members requested further clarification from the applicant concerning this information, but this has not been forthcoming. The harm to the greenbelt from this development is considered to be more limited, taking into consideration the size of the mobile homes and caravans, the fact that it relates to previously developed land and their location at the rear of the dwelling house on this side. It is considered that with all of the matters combined, these amounts of very special circumstances which outweigh the recognised harm. It has been considered that the application can be supported, but to make permission personal to those whose need have been recognised and for a limited period of 5 years. The temporary permission also means that the proposal can be reviewed in terms of the need and supply of pitches and the policy position at that time. The application is therefore recommended for a limited period of permission, as indicated at the top of page 79, subject to the securing of a SAM contribution within the revised timescale, with the amended condition 4 as in paragraph C on page 77 of the report. Please note the second recommendation from the bottom of page 79 if this contribution is not secured. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Carty.
Members, we are going to be debating this item, and there are areas that are confidential to this item. It is therefore proposed that we close the formal part of the meeting, and therefore the committee is advised to resolve that under section 100A subbracket 4 of the Local Government Act 1972 as amended, the public be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the ground that they may involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined in paragraphs part 1 of schedule 12A of the Act as set out, namely item 9 paragraph 1 and item 10 paragraph 1. Members, are you in agreement with that recommendation?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Can we please then remember we need to, so any members of the public watching, thank you very much. We will be turning off, when I can find Kirsty, the YouTube. Members, if you just remember, we are still currently on YouTube until told otherwise. We lost Kirsty.